Welcome, legacy creator, to your new life. This is Ntebs Mbanjwa, CEO and founder of Dinaledi Institute, home of manifestation, identity work, and limitless living. And yes, I brought my tea today because faith is a big topic. And you know me, I can't talk faith on an empty throat. Today is day 4 of our Legacy Self 30-day journey, and we are going into the heartbeat of manifestation. Faith, clarity gives us the map, yes. But faith is the fuel that drives the car towards your destination. Now, when I say faith, I don't mean blind belief or hoping and wishing. Faith, as Napoleon Hill said, is a state of mind which may be induced by autosuggestion. Frederick Dodson would call it a frequency state that matches the parallel reality you want. Think of it like this: faith is holding the vibration of what you desire before you see it. It's tuning your inner radio to the legacy self station and refusing to let static or doubt pull you away. Here's the truth: the world is constantly selling you doubt. Turn on the news and you'll see scarcity. Scroll on social media and you'll see comparison. But when you choose faith, you're saying, I refuse to live by the evidence of the old self. I will live by the vision of my legacy self. That's faith. It's a knowing. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman named Ayanda. At 33, she felt stuck. Her business had plateaued. She wanted to buy her dream home, but her bank account said, "Girl, please." One morning, instead of focusing on lack, Ayanda made a decision. She began writing letters every day, not to her bank, not to her boss, but to her legacy self. She would write, "Dear abundant Ayanda, how did it feel to sign the deed to your dream home? Dear abundant Ayanda, what kind of light pours through the windows in the morning?" At first, it felt silly. She even laughed at herself. But day after day, she chose faith. She visualized. She walked through furniture stores, touching couches as if she was choosing them for her new living room. She drove to the neighborhood she wanted and took long walks, breathing in the energy of already mine. And 6 months later, almost out of nowhere, a client she hadn't spoken to in 3 years called with a contract that quadrupled her income. That deal was the exact amount she needed for her down payment. Coincidence? Or was her faith the bridge that carried her from one reality to another? You already know the answer. Faith is not passive. Faith is not "I'll wait and see." Faith is "I will see it and then I will live it." Napoleon Hill said, "Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought." Faith means you don't negotiate with doubt. You don't water the weeds by replaying fear. You water the vision by replaying possibility. Now let me ask you, what would your legacy self do if they already had the thing you're waiting for? How would they walk into the room? What would their energy say before they even opened their mouth? Faith is being that version now. Now let's pause and embody your legacy self now. Close your eyes, legacy creator. Take a deep breath in through the nose and let it out slowly. Now imagine standing in front of a doorway. On the other side of this doorway is your legacy self. The version of you who already has the life, the abundance, the business, the job, the love, the home, the peace you desire. Step through the doorway. Notice how it feels to be in their body. How does your legacy self breathe? How do they smile? What kind of faith do they carry? Now repeat after me, either out loud or in your heart. I have unshakable faith in my legacy self. I walk in faith, not fear. My legacy self is already real, and I choose to embody them now. Breathe into that, feel that certainty, feel the shift. Legacy creator, faith is the bridge between the life you desire and the life you live. It's not a someday vibration, it's a today decision. So here's your journal prompt for tonight. Where am I still negotiating with doubt? And what does my legacy self believe instead? This is your moment to trade uncertainty for unshakable faith. Thank you for being here with me on day 4 of the Legacy Self 30-day journey, created by Dinaledi Institute, the home of manifestation, identity work, and limitless living. Make sure you subscribe and share this with someone who needs to be reminded that faith is their superpower. I'll see you tomorrow, where we explore autosuggestion, the daily language that trains your subconscious to live as your legacy self.